Hey, how you doing? This is Marlon Hurd, the Valuenaire, and I want to welcome you to this presentation. We're going to talk today about some simple steps you can take to an extra $200 to $500 per month, and we're talking about consistently. All right. I know that if you're out there online, or you've probably been approached before about making a couple extra $1,000 per month, or maybe even millions of dollars. But let's think about this for a moment. All right, let's think about an extra $5,000 per month. Okay, most individuals have never made $5,000 a month ever in their lives. Okay, I'm just talking about from if they work a job or something like that, they've never done that in their lives. So talking about making an extra $2,000 to $5,000 a month part time, some individuals can't even think that their thinking is not even that big. So I said, well, what about an extra $200 to $500 per month? Why is that more feasible than the 1,000? Well, most individuals, when it comes to making extra income, I'm not saying everybody, but most individuals, they have a part-time job or something like that, and that's about how much they will make per month if they had a part-time job. But most individuals, they don't want to work another job. They want to do something that's, low risk, not a lot of time. They can do it on their own terms and not really have to change a lot what they're doing. And then, build upon that, expound upon that, that process when it comes to, making extra income. So I'm just going to go with some simple things, some simple steps that you can take. I know a lot of you, well, who am I? Why should you listen to me? Again, my name is Marlon Hurd. I call myself the Valuenaire because, every day my goal is to put out as much value as I possibly can. I've been in this entire, financial freedom, earn money from home process since 2002. And it has been a wonderful ride. I'm not done by any means. I have a goal of helping 1 million people to become financially independent, because when you're financially independent, you have choice. You can do what you want to do, live life on your own terms. And that is my goal. So from the mentors I've had, from the webinars I've been on, from the seminars I've attended over the years, I was like, wow, this is a great position to be in, because now I can take this information and share with other people so that those who really take it seriously can have some of the same successes. All right. So here we go. Let's get into it. Imagine being able to bring in an extra $200 to $500 per month consistently. Think about this. What would that do for you? What would an extra $200 to $500 a month do for you right now? Imagine being able to do this consistently and grow your extra income by 10. And I know you're thinking like, well, how do I do that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to earning extra income, they're going to, especially outside of a job, there's going to take a different, there's a different path you're going to take, a different education strategy that you're going to have to immerse yourself into in order for this income to come in consistently, especially with the amount of time that you're going to be putting into it. And the amount of time is not a lot of time. So with that information, that new education strategy that you obtain, you're going to be able to build upon that. And that 200 to 500 can grow to 2,000 to 5,000 per month, because now you have a new education platform to build upon. All right. So what we're going to cover, how does lowering your expenses create extra income? Create an additional income source. Very important. Debt elimination equals extra income. There's gold in them there heels. All right. And we're talking about your job paycheck. And the bonus, we're going to go with some financial freedom building, financial freedom foundation building techniques, just some things that, you can have for yourself when it comes to, how do you really build that financial freedom for yourself? Okay. Well, a little bit about me. This is, really simple. This is me and my wife. We got married in 2006. We met in college, and she's my best friend. Very, very smart. My mother told me a long time ago, marry a smart woman, and she's very, very, very smart. This is our family. Me, that's the wife again. We got 4 daughters. You can see we got twins there at the bottom. And it's amazing. The house is crazy all the time. Yes, I live in a house full of women, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm going to do something a little different than most people do. I know most people put up pictures about awards they've gotten and things of that nature. I'm going to put up this picture because when I met these two gentlemen, this was a pivotal turning point in my life. We got together and decided to do something great for people, start our own company together. And these gentlemen are absolutely phenomenal. They're husbands and fathers, and they have a big heart for people. And I'm the same exact way. I have a very, very big heart for people. And so do these two gentlemen. And so when we came together, it was another turning point in my life. So when I met my wife, turning point in my life, had our children, had my family, turning point. And when I met these gentlemen, it was absolutely phenomenal. So that's a little bit about Marlon, her. So let's get into what you came here for, and that's the value. Let's talk about lowering your expenses, all right? People are overspending every single day. And the reason is that because individuals are too consumer-minded. You know, I live here in the United States, and we are a very consumer-minded group of individuals. It's all about buy, spend. If you don't have the latest whatever, you're not living life, you're nothing. And I'm pretty sure that relates to a lot of people all over the world, okay? Overspending. Many get paid or compensated and don't even know what happens to their money. They get paid on Friday, and then by Saturday, they're broke. Okay, because their mindset is geared towards what? Ah, man, I got to pay these bills, and then I got to try to use this little bit of money left over to live life, right? And then, but have their mindset, that's the path their mindset is on. So, you know, and a lot of people believe that that's how they're supposed to live. A lot of people believe that, like, I'm supposed to be broke. I'm supposed to not have money. All right, so let me keep spending. So here's how we start lowering some expenses. Take 30 days and write down everything you spend money on. Everything that you spend money on, write it down, okay? And if it's not conducive to your plan, stop spending money on it. See, the goal here is to what? Lower the expenses, okay? Lower some of your expenses so that you can what? Find out where you're misspending money. Sometimes you'll misspend money. You're like, man, I shouldn't have bought that. I didn't need to buy that. And you buy it anyway. And it could have been something that you could use that money for what? A different plan to get you to where you really want to be. So with lowering your expenses, many people find anywhere from an extra $50 to $200 that you're overspending every single month. I shared this process with a good friend of mine, and she found out she was misspending $800 a month. $800. I said, are you kidding me? She said, Marlon, I found $800. It was absolutely phenomenal. So just lower your expenses because you have a plan now. Your goal is, as we go through this process, you'll see what that extra income by lowering your expenses will allow you to do. You know, maybe if you're going golfing every Saturday, take it down to two Saturdays. If you go out shopping every weekend, take it down to two Saturdays because there's a plan out there to get you to where you want to be. And as you go through this process, this presentation, you'll see what I mean. Now, your additional income source, all right? If you're only living on one source of income, you are dead in the water. And that's not coming from Marlon. That's coming from Warren Buffett, one of the most wealthiest individuals in the world. He said, never live on one source of income. And even if you're married and both of you have jobs, that's still one source of income because both of your income is coming from a job. All right, so find yourself an additional income source. There are literally thousands of ways to earn extra income. Many people have chosen the second job route. It's a choice, but not the best one. All right, having a second job means having a second headache. You know, more taxes out of the paycheck. Maybe you have to pay for extra, child care. Maybe you have to buy different clothes. Now you're spending more money in gas. It's a choice. All right, but not the best one. The better choice is to start a low-cost, home-based business. All right? Why do you want to start a business? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the minute you start a business, you start saving money on taxes. Okay? You start really taking control of your income. Well, you save money on taxes if you live in the United States or Canada. But really, you start taking control of your income. Start a home-based business. You can write resumes, you can walk dogs, You can drive Uber or Lyft. I know a lot of people do very well doing that. You can clean homes. You can babysit. You can coach on a particular niche, or you can join a home-based business. All right. So that's just a small list there, but it's something that you can do on your own terms. You can write resumes when you want to. You can walk dogs when you want to. You can drive Uber or Lyft when you want to. You can clean homes when you want to. Babysit. All this stuff, you decide to join a home-based business. You can say, hey, I can work my home-based business on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay? But these are some things that you could do to bring in an additional income source. And all these options work, but the best one to me is the home-based business industry, right? Everything is already set up, the product or the service, the comp plan, right? All you do is just represent that product or service. And the reason is, I think this one is better because there's a possibility to earn leveraged and residual income. And what does that mean? Leveraged income is income that you earn based on other people's efforts, all right? And it's not a bad thing because wherever you work, your place of employment is leveraging you. You're being leveraged. All right. You're bought at wholesale and sold at retail. All right. You are being leveraged. And whoever owns that company, they're not there because you are there. All right. So, but in the home-based business industry, you can create leveraged income on other people's efforts, but they have the same opportunity to do as you. And the residual income means that you do something once and get paid on it repeatedly. So if the individuals like the product or the service and they bought it 6 months ago, right? Well, you did something 6 months ago and you're getting paid on it today. Okay, so that's why I believe this is one of the best areas to be in because it allows you to earn leverage and residual income. But all the other options that we have there work as well too. Get yourself an additional income source. Now, debt elimination. Okay, debt is the bane of many people's existence. Debt can choke the life out of many people. People hate debt, but everybody's in debt. Okay, many people are taught, quote unquote, to go into debt. In order to get what you want, not need, you must borrow, right? Well, what I mean by taught? Well, most individuals, when you leave high school, you are debt free. I mean, you don't have any debt at all. Maybe you got a car your parents bought you or something that you bought, but you don't have any debt. So the first goal of societies is to get you trapped. And how to get you trapped? Get you involved in debt, right? You got school loans, you got credit cards, now you got a car payment, now you got a house payment, right? So now you're in debt. And now you are a slave to the debt. So what? You can't now what? Now you can't leave your job, right? Because you got to pay the bill on that debt. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. But there are people out there that have it set to where they make sure that their young people don't go into debt. Okay? Again, we're taught to go into debt. We are all taught to go into debt, but have no earthly idea how to get out of debt. Right? We're all taught how to go in, but once you get in, well, hey, I can't help you now. I taught you how to get in. You got to figure out how to get your own self out, which is absolutely horrible. All right. Now, the great part about lowering your expenses and creating your additional income source is that you can use that income to eliminate your debts. All right. So you see how all this is coming together. So you lower your expenses, you find an extra $100 you're misspending. All right. You create that additional income source. Maybe you bring in an additional $400. Now you're making an additional $500 a month that you can use to what? Get rid of your debts. Debt elimination. So that's a great process to have, right? Now you have a plan. Okay. Now your plan is starting to come together. So as your debts get eliminated, so do the monthly payments on those debts, right? If you're paying it, right? So if you're paying $200 per month on a credit card and you pay it off, you now have an additional $200 you don't have to pay out. That's extra income because you don't have to pay it out. So you're making, now let's add this up. You're $100 on lowering your expenses, right? You have an additional income source that's bringing an extra $400. Now you're up to $500. And now you use that money to pay off a debt. Now you're up to what? An extra $700. You have surpassed the $500 a month part. All right. Now I know you're thinking like, man, I never thought of this because when somebody shared this with me, I was like, I never thought about that. All right. I never really thought about this. So I said, this is something that people need to know. Okay. Now, the goal you are missing. This is exciting. This is absolutely exciting. When I learned this process, I said, oh my goodness, there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people that need to know that this process is out there for them. So now this process for those living in the United States, some areas in Canada, I believe, and I'm not leaving my international partners out, but I'm just not familiar with how your taxes work. Okay, this is all going towards the tax area. So I'm not leaving you out, just not sure how your taxes work. So if you're watching this, and some of this applies, you find out how that can work for you, and then apply this process to that. Now, important, very important. I am not a tax professional. I'm just letting you know what you have access to. So what I'm getting ready to share with you, make sure that you contact a tax professional so that you can make sure that, hey, all ends are met. But I'm just letting you know what you have access to, okay? Now, as a full-time, part-time employee, you earn W-2 wages. And as a W-2 wage earner, you pay hefty taxes on your paycheck. Really, you don't pay them, they take it, but that's what they say. You pay taxes on your paycheck. As a business owner, right? As a business owner, whether you start your own business or you join one, like a home-based business, you have access to over 500 different tax advantages, including the taxes you pay, quote unquote, on your paycheck. All right? There's a form called the Form W-4. You can adjust based on future tax deductions. And what are the deductions? Well, when you start a business, a lot of your bills now become business expenses, which are tax deductions. All right? So you can adjust the Form W-4 based on future tax deductions that will increase your tax allowances, thus lowering the amount of taxes paid, quote unquote, on your paycheck. So for many, this can result in a $200 to $800 per month income increase on your job paycheck. Yes, you can do this. But in order to do this, you must be a business owner. So if you start your own business, make sure you set up right. You get your LLC or your S Corp or what have you. Make sure you have your EIN number. Make sure you're a legal business. If you join one, when you join that business, your Social Security number is your business. That means that you're a business owner because you're earning what? 1099 income. But the minute you do this, you can now adjust your Form W-4 based on future tax deductions and lower the amount of taxes paid on your paycheck, thus increase your paycheck, thus mean more money in your pocket. So where are we at? We're at $100 on lowering your expenses. We're at an extra $400 in our business. We're at $200 by paying off some debts. Now we're at $700. So let's say you're earning an extra $400 a month on your paycheck. Now you're up to $1,100 extra dollars. Look at that. You are now up to extra income by just adjusting a few small things. This is absolutely phenomenal. I know someone right now is watching this like, oh my gosh, why did I know this? Because I was the same way, like, oh my goodness, why didn't anybody tell me? Right? I was upset. Especially when I learned this part. I've been working all this time and I was upset. Okay. But when I take a little sip of water here, but when I made the adjustments, start getting money back, I was happy. Okay. Awesome. So hope you're getting some value out of this. Are you getting value? Is this valuable to you? Valuable information? Hope it is. So bonus number one, let's talk about that Financial Freedom Foundation. I know a lot of people want to be in a position where you can make the money you're making from work at home, right? And when you can do that from home, what do you get back? You get back your time. You get back your time freedom. All right, there's nothing like being able to drop your kids off at the bus. And if the school calls, you don't have to ask anyone, hey, dude, can I leave to go take care of my kid? Or if your kid is sick, to stay home. Or if you're sick or something happens to you, you don't have to ask for anybody else for your time, right? I mean, that's crazy to ask somebody else for to be able to use your time. That's ridiculous. Okay, so let's talk about how you can start building this foundation. All right, there are millions of people that if they lost their main source or sources of income, in 30, 60 days, they'd be out on the street, right? And I say street, quote unquote, and maybe not on the street, maybe they can stay with friends and family members, but still on the street, okay? Many people are on the non-plan plan when it comes to their finance, on the non-plan plan, which means when it comes to their income, the only plan they have is to pay bills. There's not a plan for freedom because people weren't taught to plan for freedom. They were taught to pay the bills plan. So they're on the non-plan plan. And what I mentioned earlier is that people get their money and have no idea what happens to it. Okay? Now, there are millions of people, millions of families and people out there without an emergency fund. An emergency fund is 8 to 12 months of your current monthly expenses. So that means that if anything happens, you lose your job, your wife loses her job, the wash machine goes out, the dryer goes out, all of a sudden your kid in college needs $1,000 for something or whatever it may be, you can now go to your emergency fund. All right, and be able to, let's say, and be able to take care of it. Let's say your spouse lost their job. All right, and your spouse's money was part of helping pay the monthly expenses. Well, you have an emergency fund, right? You can go into the emergency fund, take care of the bills. All right, that is freedom. In the back of your mind, okay, if anything happens, we will be okay because we have our emergency fund. But how many people don't have this? But guess what? All right, like I said, emergency funds are for emergencies. And with your newly found extra income, use it to pay down and pay off debts and build your emergency fund. Right? You take some of the money, pay down your debts. The other part you put towards your emergency fund. Other part you pay up, and then the next month pay down some debts or pay some debts off. Put in your emergency fund every single month. You do that. Or some over here, some over there. Before you know, you look up one day you have $30,000 in the emergency fund, debts paid down. That, ladies and gentlemen, that's freedom. That's freedom. If you can put your hands on $30,000, right, or $20,000 or $40,000 to help take care of you and your family, if anything happens, that's mental freedom. Guess what? If you want to, if your business is going well enough, right? And you have your part-time business, your expenses are down, you pay debts off, right? Maybe a spouse can come home, right? Because if anything happens, at least you got 12 months to what? Take care of your monthly expenses. Maybe you can come home, right? Maybe both of you can come home. So you see how all this fits together? This is phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal. Now, personal wealth manager. This is where you take it to the next level. This is where you really prepare for the future. This is where you really prepare yourself for the generations after you, right? Because your great grandkids can't work your job. Your job may not even be around when your great grandkids are around. But here's where you start thinking about not just your future, but the future beyond you. All right? Is the future coming? You bet it is. Because every day is the future for someone else. Today that you're watching this presentation is 20 years later for someone, right? It's 10 years later for someone. It's 50 years later for someone at this moment in time. That every day is the future for someone. Many people never prepare themselves financially for the future because they don't believe they have enough money to start. Also, they don't believe that it's coming, right? Many young people think they're going to be young forever. When I was in high school and college, I thought I was going to be there forever. That's not the case, right? So here's another tip that I want to share with you. Everything I'm sharing with you today, make sure you share with your children. If you have children or nieces and nephews and grandkids, or you just mentoring younger people, teach them these concepts while they are 14 and 15 and 16. Maybe they might not understand everything, but they are listening. They're listening. I teach this to my children. All right. All of you saw my daughters. All of them want to be business owners. All of them understand compound interest. All of them understand debt and credit. They understand that. I'm teaching them how do you buy a house? How do you buy a car? How do you do these things? I'm teaching them all these concepts. They understand this stuff. Okay, don't think that your kid, because they're little, they don't. Trust me, they will understand. And as they go through life, they'll remember all of this. So make sure that you teach the younger generations this stuff now. Don't wait. Don't not teach them. Yeah, all right, because a lot of people get this stuff late. They get in their 30s and 40s, like, oh my goodness, I wish I knew this. Okay? Do the future a favor and teach them this. Okay? Well, you don't need millions of dollars to start saving and preparing for the future and the generations to come. Right? A personal wealth manager can help you with the process. The great thing about having a personal wealth manager is that this individual has access to vehicles that will help grow your money, even if you only have $50 a month. If you have $50 a month, a personal wealth manager has access to great vehicles, great investment vehicles, where not only can you grow your money, but you can also have access to it while it grows. Okay? We call this banking on yourself. There's a way you can become your very own bank. So over time, there'll become a time when you want something, and instead of going to the bank for it, you can come to yourself. Quick example. Let's say, for instance, you have young children. They're like 5 years old. You get with a personal wealth manager, and you start putting a plan together. By the time that 5-year-old is 16, right, they're going to want a car. Well, because you got with your personal wealth manager and you put the plan together and your money is growing, and guess what? You now have access to it. You can now go to your very own bank, buy your young person a car, right? Go into your personal bank, buy your young person a car, and that money you took out, you now pay yourself back. But when you take it out, the money that you took out still grows as if you never took it out. All right? I'm giving you some wealth stuff here. A lot of people don't know this. So a personal wealth manager is different from a financial planner because a financial planner doesn't have access to these vehicles. All right. So I'm going to show you how you can get access to your very own personal wealth manager. All right. Very good stuff. So did you get value from this? All right. I hope you got some value. I enjoyed sharing this with you. I really hope you got a lot of value out of this this process here, just this presentation. I know I've got value from this over the years. I wanted to make sure that I got it out to people so that you can get just a little bit of what I've been able to experience in this whole process. All right, so what I have now is I'm going to share some information with you. Okay, because I put all of this into a training. Okay, and here's some information here where you can contact me. But I put all of this into a training. It's something that I market online to the marketplace. So if anyone finds it, they can purchase it and have everything that I share with you in video training. I mean, in each module, there are several videos training you and teaching you on how to build your very own financial freedom foundation. We call it financial offense, having the right plan, the right game plan to get you to where you want to be. So what I'm gonna do right now is kind of share with you what this looks like, and then there's either gonna be a drop down button here, if you're watching this in a webinar, or a button below this video if you watch like on a web page, to be able to get access to this training and also some other free downloads that you can have as well too. So I'm gonna share this with you. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Financial offense. Welcome to this page. I did a quick video here. Here you can get a free download. Just a lot of great value here. I do a live demo. Module 1 is free. Now this right here is something you'll want to download, because when you get this program, this financial offense calculator is really going to be handy, especially for, I believe, module 7. When we talk about the actual financial offense process. This is something my wife put together. It's a PDF download, but it's absolutely phenomenal tool to have. All right. This is kind of talks about who this is for, who this is not for. So normally I sell this for $97, but this is a special price for those of you who find this presentation. All right. Whether you watch on a webinar or whether you're watching this on a web page, this is, you're going to be able to find this, this is a special price for you all. So a $70 discount for you all who find this information. Here I'm doing a free live demo on the financial office calculator. This is absolutely phenomenal. Just a little bit about myself here. And here are the modules. Module 1, the foundation. This one is free. You can watch this one. Increase your paycheck. We talked about that. Eliminate your debt. We talked about that. lowering your expenses, having a business, the emergency fund. And here's where that financial offense calculator download will come into play for you in module 7. All right, part 1 and 2, and then credit. All right, credit is so important when it comes to your financial freedom foundation. So let's go over each one of these. The foundation, we're going to talk about your income starts with your education strategy. Okay, your income strategy is your education strategy. And I kind of talk about the process of how you get to your certain lifestyle. So this is going to really be a mindset process here for you. Increase your paycheck. We talk about the Form W-4, how to increase your exemptions, stop allowing the IRS, stops allowing the IRS from using your money, how to eliminate your debts. You know, we kind of talked about this a little bit, lowering your expenses, right? Having negative cash flow, paying off your debts, no more late payments. All right. How to create positive cash flow. You must have a business. This is awesome. You're going to learn about OPE and OPM. Okay. And leverage 1% of 100 people's efforts. There's some great stuff in this module. Having an emergency fund, right? Your lost job protection net. Start your retirement now, right? This is so important. And this is the bread and butter. Get off the non-plan plan. That's the most important thing. Okay. And then getting your credit together. So all of this, $27 one time, you'll be able access to. Then all these bonuses, you'll be able to get this 53-page tax download. The personal wealth manager. I'm telling you, this gentleman is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Mr. Perry Jeffries, phenomenal. And then you'll have one-on-one financial freedom coaching that you have access as well too. You get access to all this for $27. So don't miss out on this. All this incredible value that you have access to. So again, this is Marlon Hurd, the Valuenaire. Definitely want to thank you all for watching this information. I'm going to I'm going to make sure that you have access to this. So whether you see the drop down button on the webinar or you see the links below here, this video, make sure that you get your download, make sure that you get your training, and we will see you all on the inside.